I want it wrong.
There's no
drums. We're in a drum.
Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desakarine Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desakarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol
समवेत भक्तवृंद की
जय।
श्री जगन्नाथ स्वामी की
जय।
बलदेव प्रभु की
जय।
सुभद्रा महारानी की
जय।
श्री सीता गौर सुंदर की
जय।
गौर प्रेमानंद
हरि हरि बोल
जाचे राज्यं न च कनकमाणिक्यविभवम् न जाचे हम रम्यां सकल जनकाम्यां वरवधूम् सदा काले काले प्रमथ पतिन गीत चरित जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे महाम्भुदेक्षिरे कनक रुचिरे नीलशिखरे वसन्त्रासदन्तसहज बलभद्रेण बलिना सुभद्रा मध्यस्थ सकल सुरसेवा शरदो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु। जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी की
जय।
So, when I came here, I saw your Jagannath. I was reminded about Puri.
Hari Bol
I see, when I saw Jagannath, I was remembering how Jagannath is sitting in his Ratna Singhasan in the bank of the ocean in Puri. And you have a nice platform, just like in Puri they have, Jagannath sitting like this. So that is very good. I was immediately reminded about Puri. So, I was thinking today we should discuss about how a living entity he gets the seed of devotional service and how it manifests gradually, and the living entities they attain the ultimate goal of life. So, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, it explains about the traveling of the jiva, the living entities, through different species of life, and finally how they come in contact with a devotee of the Lord, where they get the seed of devotion, and when they plant it, then supply water and light, everything, fence it to protect it from the attack of the other living entities. Then finally they get the result. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it is explained, Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Latavi Mari Hayya Karsei Bijarupan Sravana Kirtana Jale Karai Sishan Upajiya Vadhelata Brahmanda Vedijay Viraja Brahmalok Vedi Parabhyam Pai Tabe jai tadupari golok vrindavan Krishna charan kalpa vrikshe kare arohan Taha vistarita haya phale prema phal Iha mali sache nitya sravanadi jal Jadi Vaishnava Parad Ute Hati Mata Upade ba Chinde tar Sukhi jai pata Tate mali jatna kare Kare aboran Aparadha hastir jaiche Nahai udgam Kintu jadi latarangi Ute upasakha Bhakti mukti vancha jato asankhyatar lekha Ataiva upasakhar karoi chedan Tabe mul sakha badi jai Vrindavan Prem phal paki pade Mali aswaday Latavalambi Latavalambi sei Kalpa vriksha pai. So here in this section it is explained that Brahmanda Bhamite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Latavis. Sometimes in this world we come together in a family and maybe one person has taken up Krishna consciousness in the family. One person in the family has taken up Krishna consciousness and some other may not be taking up, or if they have taken up, they are not very serious about it. So they don't want to accept it. Then there is a difference here. And we don't know how to cope up with such kind of difficulties. So when we understand this science, how it is flowing, then we know how to deal with the situations. So here it is explained that the living entities are moving all over the universe. Therefore in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, Nitya sarvagatastham achalayam sanatana. The jiva, the living entities, are sarvagata. They are everywhere. Means they are in the human body, they are in the dog's body, fish body, they are in the heavenly planet, they are in the lower planetary systems. So they are everywhere. So this is what is happening. In Chaitanya Charitamrita also elsewhere he said, Kahu sarage uthai, kahu narake dubai, dande jane raja jena nadite chubai. So we should understand one thing, that everybody is born with karma in this world. And we are dealing with our own karma. because we are devotees, we should understand this principle very nicely. Because he is my son, he is my wife, he is my daughter, he is my father. Yes, that is just a biological relationship. And you can, see all those things. But at the same time, you are not able to see the other part. That everybody is dealing with their own baggage. Everybody is carrying some baggage from the past life. So when they are carrying some load, how much they are loaded with, you don't know. That's why you just immediately see something. Then you try to point out why they are like this, why they are not doing like that.
Take your phone.
So, in that way, we don't see. So here, it is said that in Brahmanda, these living entities are moving from one species to another species. And in Veda, in the Purana, it is explained, Jalajal Navalakshana. There are 900,000 of aquatics. Asthavara Lakshavinshati, Krimayo Rudra Sankhyaga, Prakshinam Dasalakshanam, Tringsha Lakshani Pasava, Chatur Lakshani Manusha. So all these 8,400,000 species of life have been categorized into 6 divisions. So in every division, they are performing some activities. But what is happening, it is said that when somebody is born as a human being, they create karma. In other species of life, they are just not suffering, they are going on. But when we are born as a human being, we are creating some impressions, and that impression remains with the living entity, and in the next life, they are kind of, again following the impetus. So in that way, when these living entities are born in the family member, and they don't become so serious about Krishna consciousness, we should be very compassionate to them. We should try to be tolerant. Now what is happening is, in this world, you need to understand there are 2 types of intelligence. One is material intelligence and one is spiritual intelligence. What happens when you know the science properly, then you can deal with the situation in a better way. So there are 2 types of intelligence. One is spiritual intelligence, another one is material intelligence. But this intelligence you can actually moderate. How to understand this? So when we perform some set of material activity with our body, mind, the senses, those kind of activities, they create the impression, they create the impetus. You can see it very clearly. A person who is engaged in some activity, that can be in form of eating or watching something or doing something, physically they are involved in performing some activity, and the next time you can see that person is always kind of being reminded about what he has seen, what he has heard, what he has eaten, what he has done. That kind of gross impression remains with him. And then that mind is kind of mind is the central part of the nervous system, so he's kind of trying to assess, and with the help of intelligence now he's planning how to continue the same practice again. And that time intelligence also kind of making the plan. how things can be done. Nobody, okay, smoking is prohibited. No, you can go alone and you can smoke. Nobody will see. So this is material, because this is a science. A person who is engaging his body senses in some activity, it leaves an impression, and the intelligence is helping to process the desires, the impressions which have been created. Now, the point for us, the lesson for us is, when we are with some individuals, they are also adults, when they are engaged in some sort of activities which are creating an impression and they are being drawn to those kind of practices later on, which is contrary to religious practices, then you feel bad why they are not doing this. But in this connection, if you tell them that they should also follow dharma, they should follow shastra, they should follow principles, it becomes very difficult for them. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why you can't? When you tell that, what happens is, because they are all adults, their intelligence is developed, now desire is in full swing, they have ego, they cannot take you. It will become difficult for them. Therefore, you, instead of telling them that this is good, that is bad, we are devotee, you do not know, you just try to help them how best you can engage them in some sort of activities which are spiritual activities. As I said, when we do a set of material activities, for example, watching a movie is a material activity. Okay? Nowadays, this movie industry actually spoiling the civilization. Some people are becoming dacoits. They do all sorts of, robbery and other things because they see movie, what is happening in the movie. One boy, he went to the school, he shot. And then afterwards he was interviewed. He said, no, I see, this is what is happening. I got the gun and, I wanted to do that. What can you say to a small boy? He did it like that. So this is how we can see later on they are impelled to act in that particular consciousness. So instead of giving them too much knowledge, you work. Therefore, Vedanta Shruti says karmani abhyasat. Means when we perform the karma, we abhyas, practice is there, then automatically the Lord will become manifest. That is the explanation of the sutra karmani abhyasat. That means now it is your duty that, okay, sometimes you talk to them, talk nicely. They are not your enemy. Don't always try to find fault with them. What happens? Because we have set of expectations. Where does this anger come from? Because we have desires unfulfilled and we don't know how to deal with them. Then we end up getting angry with somebody. Okay, this is what is happening. You talk to them nicely. When you talk to somebody in a nice way, they will listen actually. It's a practical thing. What happens when we take our personal consciousness in subconscious mind, we accept ourselves as like we have become very much elevated. We are in superior position. Some other are kind of consciousness or mind, they promote such kind of thoughts in us. Therefore, we need to remind ourselves that no, I have not become so elevated yet, and I am living with this society, and I am living with my family members. this is my duty to carry them along. Not that I find fault with them, I tell negative things about them. This is your austerity actually. What austerity a Grihastha can do? In Grihastha life, you have house, family, business, service, whatever you may say, you are running. You are living nicely. What is your austerity? Oh, 1 month they don't give salary, that is not an austerity for you. This is the austerity, that you are taking the pain to approach your near and dear one and cultivate them to attain this Bhakti-lata wish. Because Brahmanda Brahmite Kuno Bhagyavan Jiv. The fortunate soul, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, they get this devotional service. And who is Guru? Patinna sasyat, pitana sasyat, jananina sasyat. Actually, that father is not father, that mother is not mother, that guru is not guru, when they are not able to give them Krishna bhakti. Right? So that means, now, you have a desire. You want to make them Krishna conscious, but your approach is wrong. How can they take up Krishna bhakti? If you feel that they are, your wife, your son, or your daughter, your father, why they are not taking? Okay, then you kind of, be in that position. How you want to talk to them? How you want to make them embrace what you want them to embrace? There is a way to do it. That requires intelligence and patience actually. What happens is, okay, whatever happens, now I am going to temple. Okay, you go to temple. We are creating just a difference. You understand? Okay, you say, I want to go to temple. She says, I don't want to go to temple. Not you, okay? You say, I want to go to temple. She says, I don't want to go to temple. Oh, don't come. Okay, fine, no problem. I'll just go. No. Sometimes what happens, it is called, what is that called? That is called common behavior, conventional behavior. Right? Sometimes, to carry a soul along in the path of Krishna consciousness, you have to do a lot of sacrifice. Prabhu, I cannot sacrifice going to the temple. All right, we understand that. But one day, maybe by sacrificing you not going to temple and spending some time with her, maybe there is a way to kind of, change her direction, her move, her way. And you try to understand one thing, every living entity, they are conscious. And internally, according to their Swarupa, they are Sachidananda. So they are pure actually. But because at present there is a covering, there is an attachment already been created on the external surface, that is what is blocking. That it is not, your instructions are not penetrating. It's that covering is not allowing. You need to assess that, understand that. And then you need to carry them along. That requires some expertise. What do you carry them along? Okay. You don't go, tell, okay, what do you like to eat today? I'm giving an example. Okay, I want to eat samosa. Let's go cook samosa together. Okay? We'll go and cook samosa together. I don't feel like going out. Let's go cook something. We want to eat. You can also say, I want to eat. Let's go eat. Even if you don't want to eat. Sometimes you need to do, I'm just giving an example. And then she feels, yeah, okay, let's go. And cook together. Maybe you can, sometimes you can play some Krishna conscious songs. And then, say, you told me not to go to temple, I didn't go to temple. But we have to cook and we have to offer to the Lord, then we can eat nicely. If I had gone to temple, I could be getting a nice prasadam there. Okay, let's eat. Then you cook nicely with good consciousness, pray to the Lord, and you kind of make an offering yourself. Then share Krishna Prasadam together. You will see, she will think, yeah, he didn't go. And because you are giving prasadam to her, it will definitely bring a change in her. Because you are actually from inside, you are feeling pain, but you are not able to show your pain to her. But your pain is being seen by the Lord. That you are sincerely thinking that she should change and she should become devotee. And you are cooking, you are also praying to the Lord. Your consciousness is going inside that food. And then when you are offering to Lord, still you are praying. Lord sees your sincerity. And then when she eats that prasadam, definitely one day Krishna is going to help. Because of your sincerity. I'm just giving one example. You understand? Because in everything we need to be dependent on the Lord's mercy. Because who is bringing the change? Lord is bringing the change, not me. So therefore, when we remain dependent on the Supreme Lord, then we kind of get Lord's mercy, then they become Krishna conscious. Now once they become Krishna conscious, after that also sometimes you don't become very, serious. And then we become again, go back to the casual life. That's also another issue. Whole family is Krishna conscious. But whole family, together they take a decision how they don't want to go to temple today. Okay? So that's also another problem. Therefore here, in Chaitanya Charitamrita it says, Brahmanda Brahmite Kuno Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Once he gets Bhakti Lata Bij, then Mali Haiya Kare Sei Bija Rupan Shravana Kirtana Jale Karai Sichan. Be a gardener. Now you got this set of rules and regulations to follow. Right? You cannot do this, you cannot eat this, you cannot go there, and you have to do this, you have to do that. So this is the bija you have received. And then you try to plant that in your heart. It happens, no, we will not do this. Today, one day, okay. No. But again, in your family life, sometimes you have to be very careful about how to adjust until we have come to the purified stage. This is a struggle actually, because our mind is always intervening. You need to understand this. We have certain rules and regulations to be followed. Okay? And you are not able to comply, or sometimes you are forcing yourself. What is the damage or what is the benefit? I will explain to you by an example. We know our philosophy. Our philosophy is we are not this body. Right? We are spirit soul. Now I am giving you a case study. You are walking on the street, then you see somebody is being drowned. You know we are not this body. What should you do? Close your eyes, just go, walk past. Let him drown.
No.
What you should do?
Help him, save him.
Save him. Yeah. But this is contrary to your philosophy, right? Yes? You are not this body. Why bother? So why you are doing this? Your philosophy says you are not this body. So what? He is going to change his body. That's it. Changing the dress. Huh? Huh?
Let him drown, we will allow him to change his body.
See? She's saying.
We have to permit, right?
So, why you
As long
say?
as you have this material body, you have to do that. Help him out. You are in this
Why?
body.
Why? Why do that?
Krishna is there in his heart.
You know philosophy is like that no? Philosophy is saying he is not this body, he is changing his dress. Maybe he is old man, he will get a new young body.
But your intelligence is there.
Huh?
Your intelligence is there.
So I am applying my intelligence.
No, Krishna is there, and body we should think that it's a temple. So when we think that the body is a temple, so Krishna is living in that body. So one person is drowning, so we should go and help him so that he can maintain the temple and he can.
Okay, he is not. That temple is filled with all junk, all graveyard. Vikasji.
The potential of every life is to realize Krishna consciousness, and if that life can be saved, to create that potential, that in the future they may get Krishna consciousness, then it is our duty to save that life.
Okay, you are becoming very highly philosophical. Okay.
I have learned it from you.
Okay.
How about people who suffer from severe health issues in this country? Sometimes they say like mercy, even the doctors and nurses will come home to finish their life. Is it right or wrong, Prabhu?
Wait. That's a
different
Mercy killing.
That is mercy killing.
So listen, Prabhupada says, there is something called social convention. You are a sadhu from Krishna Consciousness Organization. You are working past the situation where the man is being drowned. And if you don't help to rescue, then people will not take us seriously. They'll feel they are a group of sentimental people. So to kind of live in the society, sometimes you have to comply with the social conventions. Are you getting me? Similarly, you may know that this is what we are supposed to do in Krishna consciousness. Because of that person's condition nature, the society is kind of, you are in a society where you are kind of, you know that if I do this, then it is going to have a very much negative effect. Then like that person, if he is not helping, then we will have lot of negative effect on us. Therefore, we have to kind of, just allow that thing to have kind of, take course, that we should be there help. So that then afterwards, no problem. And such kind of things are happening when? It's just very rare, right? Once in a while. So similarly, while amongst our people, because they are used to particular way of thinking, particular way of doing things, they have been kind of attached to it. So you have to understand how you can gradually pull them out of the situation. Where sometimes you may need to accompany them, sometimes you have to be hard on them. Not that always you become hard on them. When you become too hard, then it will break. If you become too soft, then they will not progress also. Again, the same example of how much salt you want to put. If you are, or when you are tightening the knot, how much pressure you should put. You have a wrench, you have an instrument, you can just pull it. Then one time you will see it will break. Right? And some other time, if you don't tighten it properly, then the machine will not function also. Neither you are allowed to keep it loose, nor you are allowed to over-tighten it. Same thing with our life in this material world. Why we go to Guru, why we read Shastra? Because we want to train ourselves in this science. We want to learn all these things. I am talking in general. When it comes to life, every time we are facing with some situations, and there are a lot of different cases are happening in our life. These cases are not you have to bring to the court always. You have to solve within your court. So you need to learn, you want to become an expert lawyer to make some kind of adjustment. And the best thing is, you see, Krishna knows that we are in a very precarious condition. And we always are we are always facing the challenges. When you remain surrendered to Krishna, Krishna actually helps. Therefore, the prayer is very, very important. Prayer is very, very important. On regular basis, we have to pray to the Lord. One prayer is, you just submit your situation before Lord. You go to the deity, you tell, my dear Lord, this is what is happening. I don't know what to do. Please help me. Please shower your mercy upon me. Whatever your problems, you can tell him directly. Yes, there is no problem. And with the desire that, my dear Lord, you show me the way how I can deal with it. It's not that I want you to come and become my servant to solve all my issues, my problems. You understand? We are going to him to submit ourselves and let him know, this is my situation, please guide me, help me, I don't know how to deal with it. Every day, and also this is one. Another thing is, every day you should find some prayers from Shastra and recite before him for his glory, to glorify him. Not only every time you go and just tell him about your problems. He is there, but that can be one time prayer. Other time, you do archan, you look nicely for him, and also glorify him. There should be more in proportion to what you submit to him. Because Lord doesn't want you become distressful. Never try to cry before the Lord. Sometimes some people go, they cry before the deity. No, you don't cry before him. He knows everything. You explain, this is the situation. I don't know how to deal with it, so let me know what can I do. So this is a kind of a practical approach we should be taking. And as I said, that you have to see how the mind is engaged externally. That is how the external influence is not allowing that person to come near Krishna consciousness. Therefore, I need to create some engagement. His senses, as I said, like cooking means eating Krishna prasadam or doing something for the Lord in your hand, cooking utensils, getting flour, making the garland, something. The child doesn't want to. Okay, come, ring the bell, I am doing arati. From the childhood, you tell them. They like to ring the bell. So something like that, you have to create some engagement for them so that physically they are engaged in doing something for Krishna. This is also another austerity for the parents. Children, when they are young, they listen. When they go to 7, 8, then they become a little bit disturbed. Then afterwards, then again they are coming on track for 2, 3 years. Then again after that there is another change happening. You can be like a father to chastise even your children when they are small. After 10, in this Kali Yuga now, the way intelligence is being developed, which after 10, you should be like a friend to them. Don't try to chastise them. This is where we agree with the modern system of education. They don't like children to be beaten, to be chastised. That's also good, that's okay. But sometimes also too much liberation is not good. You have to be little strict on them. But when you become like, father, where you sometimes be little heavy on them, and many times you become friend with them. You are talking to him nicely. This boy, he was not telling, saying, oh, what did you learn in the school? He doesn't want to open his mouth. Then he kind of dealt with him in such intelligent way, asked some good, intriguing question. He then opened up. It was nice actually. These are all kind of, this is an art also, parents needs to know. Otherwise what will happen? After some time you are thinking, you are practicing, he is growing also. Now he is not listening to me, he has grown up, what to do? Becomes a headache. No, from the very beginning, that should be your investment. Like I'm telling you, nowadays, other day I was going, one person was driving. Maybe Nimai or what? Not you, somebody else. He has a daughter. Now in this country, I asked him, then he actually told me, I didn't know. He said, when the daughter is born, immediately you buy some gold, something, then you keep somewhere, and then by the time she is 16, 17, you get already kind of around 1 crore rupees, according to something like that. I'm just giving an example. Then he said, then you are not struggling to get your daughter married. Then every time little, saving. Otherwise what happens, if you don't follow this policy, then by the time the daughter is ready, and you don't know how to get her married, because nowadays dowry is very costly, and everything is becoming expensive. So this is the system we follow. I think you see, just to get your daughter married the day he is born, you are making the calculation until how you are going to get her married. Similarly, whether he is a boy child or girl child, when they are born, why don't you make that kind of plan, investment plan, so that when they are above 10, 11, 15, they are kind of set in their journey. No, we both want to work, we both want to have our life, okay, then child is not getting care, who to blame? In this part of the world, there's a lot of constraints are there. Okay, if you don't work, Prabhu, how to support our family? How to maintain the house? This is your austerity. You have chosen to be in this place. Don't think everything is going to be according to your desire. That is karma. How much you try to start a new business, every time you invest, it is failing. Getting frustrated. Okay, accept the reality of life, but at the same time, they need your care and attention. How you want to cope up? Again, that requires some intelligence. Neither you are allowed to totally deny about the convention, nor you are allowed to overdo things on the material plane. At the same time, you should learn how to practice Krishna consciousness. Does it make sense?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right? Otherwise, what happens? Sometimes it will give a backfire. We lose, our happiness and peace. But when we actually do things together in Krishna consciousness, then our spiritual intelligence becomes sharp. And when spiritual intelligence becomes sharp, then at that time we know what is right, what is wrong. We take a decision. We do together devotional service. Then what happens? Pujya Badilata Brahmanda Vedi Jai Viraja Brahma Lok Vedi Parabhyam Pai. So gradually it is growing and growing. You are kind of sitting here. Yaha mali sacha nitya sravanadi jal. What is that water you need to supply to the devotional keeper? Sravanam and Kirtanam. Every day you on regular basis, continuously continue. That is the watering. And then it is going. The Bhakti Lata is growing. and said, Taha vistarito haya phale prem phal. At that time, it will give fruit, prema phal. Yaha mali se change samadhi. And actually, prema phal paki pade mali asvadoy lata avalambi kalpa vriksha paay. Lata avalambi mali kalpa vriksha paay. So, prem phal paki pade mali asvadoy. What happens is, in the beginning, we think we are doing so many things, but there is no happiness in Krishna consciousness. There is no kind of, I don't feel anything.
It's dry.
Dry. So now, I was asking this question. You see, a son or daughter, whoever that he may be, when they are just admitted to an engineering school, what they are able to see there? Is there any kind of, happiness there? There is suffering actually. Isn't it? Yeah, they have to remain awake till late night. Early morning, sometimes sleeping. Sometimes there is no proper food. Mother is saying, come and eat. No, I have to do. Right? It is suffering actually. But why he is doing this? You tell me. Why?
To achieve his goal,
What is that goal?
become an engineer or something.
Why he is thinking that he is studying, he will become an engineer?
So that he will get more money.
What is the confidence? Where he is getting this confidence that I will become an engineer if I do this?
You have an example. Of
That's a
previous-
path. That is a path.
You
That
have
is a
pre-
path?
You have a previous example.
Like?
Like you've seen other engineers who've done it and who've gone.
They
through
studied
that.
in this college.
Yes.
I want to send my son to an engineering college where once he gets a seat, his job is guaranteed. There are many engineering schools like that, right?
Yes.
The company is going to take your son from there. You don't have to worry about him at all. So some or other I have to get him admitted to this engineering college. And you also become the part of his austerity also at that time. Because this is the path, there is the evidence, even though there is a suffering for next 3 years, maybe 4 years, right? Next 4 years he has to go through a very severe austerity. Then one day he is going to become the engineer. Then he will become a greatest sense gratifier. Okay. Now, the same principle we are saying. You are saying, Prabhu, we started, but we are not getting anything. There is no happiness, then I don't see anything. Okay, I'll ask you. Do you think Sanatana Goswami was successful? Rupa Goswami was successful? Jiva Goswami was successful? Prabhupada, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Bhaktivinoda Thakur? If they have worked on this path, they have attained success. What's wrong with you? Why can't you see that? Why are you thinking, whether, okay, right now you are not getting it. I gave the example of the engineer boy. What is, he is getting now? He is getting just only suffering. But he has a hope. Like you choose to get your son admitted to an engineering school which guarantees job. Our ISKCON organization is guaranteeing you the attainment of love of God. You are already admitted there. Don't look back, don't think twice, don't have any doubt. We are confirming you today. This is the society organization who is the stakeholder of the love of Godhead. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, একেলা মালাকার আমি কাহা কাহা যাব একলা বা কত ফল পাড়িয়া বিলাব একলা উঠাইয়া দিতে হয় পরিশ্রম কেহ পায় কেহ না পায় রহে মনের ভ্রম অতএব আমি আজ্ঞা দিলু সবাকারে যাহা তাহা প্রেম ফল বিলাও সবারে. That is why on the authority of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I am telling you, we are the only stakeholder of this Gauranga Prem. So if you have already get an entry to this organization, you should not have any confusion that today I am not seeing anything happening, how I am going to get. No, you are going to get it. Just hold on, follow the process, the practice which have been given to us. Prabhupada says we are Rupanuga. By the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Goswami, we will all get love of God. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Srimati Bhaktivinoda ki
Jai.
Nitai Gaura Premanande.
Hare Bol.
9:30. Okay.
Prabhu, the actual time is 8:30.
How can you say?
Actual time is 8:30. They have done their clocks ahead.
Yes? Any question or comment? Sinamaya Prabhu, you are supposed to leave, no?
Yes.
She should go, no? Okay. Oh, okay. So now our vehicle is already
Ready.
It's already started now. It's burning the petrol now. Thank you, Mataji, for inviting us to your house today.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
And in front of Jagannath, we are trying to say something which will be meaningful for all of us. May Lord Jagannath Swami be merciful to all of us so that we can serve him nicely.
Very well.
Prabhuji, there is one question after that.
What is it?
Prabhu, you were saying that we should not cry in front of deities, but we should tell whatever problem we have. So, but Krishna knows everything. But sometimes we feel like to cry in front of him only because he is the person that where we can open our heart. So why it is not
Lord is not happy when you cry before him. Therefore you should not cry. You cry with happiness.
What is the answer, Prabhu?
That's a different type of cry.
Prabhu, could you speak a little louder? Little louder, we couldn't hear the answer.
What's the answer? We should not cry.
You should not cry before the deity because he is not happy to see you crying before him.
Then he should not give the problem.
He is not giving the problem. You are the creator of your own problems. You have chosen yourself to be in this situation. He is not forcing you.
If we don't get
Oh yes, sometimes he can also create the problem for you. You know why?
To see how you can
No,
tolerate
to
it.
get his
To see how you can tolerate. He is putting a test before you.
That's all.
That every day is a test.
You, how much you are still attached to this material world. He is testing you, and then the day you say no, 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 then you become successful, and that is the qualification to attain love of God. You think to attain the God's love is so easy? That's the topmost object. Without any price, you can get that object, topmost object. You have to pay some price. So he forces you to pay this price. That he wants to ensure that you have no desire for anything. So that's why he is creating so many beautiful things for you here. He is bringing you here, this country, to live very happily, right? He is testing you. He is saying, okay, what do you want? You want my love? Huh?
Rattle to the children, like to rattle like toys.
Yes. Yeah. So
we attract children, right? We attract children by showing all these toys and funny.
his way of attracting is little different.
Yeah, we are attracted to this.
He is also giving you, and he is trying to tell you that, look, you want me, or I want to test actually whether you really want me or not. You are saying you are attracting the children, no, because you want your child to just be happy with the toy so that you can do your other work. Don't tell me. I know. Mother is so busy, she doesn't have time to entertain the baby. Okay, give the toy. But when baby doesn't want the toy, then there is no other option. Whatever work is there, you will stop everything, keep everything behind. You will first attend to your baby. This is what he is testing you. That, okay, this, that, you are happy, you are playing, you are okay, you don't need me now. But when you become very stubborn, then he said, okay, now I have to attend to my son or my daughter.
Prabhuji, you saying not to cry in front of Krishna, right? So,
Why you should cry first of all, tell me.
so say
No. This is a very good question. Now I want to ask, why you want to cry before
So
Krishna?
say somebody has some health issue, right, and doctor is saying we cannot resolve it. So then they say, okay, I will go to Krishna and pray that please can you solve my health problem. So that is in a way crying in front of the deities, right? Like please Krishna, take away my suffering. So if we don't go to Krishna and ask, who else to
So if you don't cry, Krishna is going to take away your suffering?
No, I'm not saying cry, like just pray in front
That's
of
what I am
Krishna.
saying. Don't
Krishna
cry, he doesn't
knows
like.
everything, Prabhuji.
He does.
Krishna knows everything.
Yeah.
But when our heart is so like heavy, and we have to let it somewhere.
Okay,
right?
okay.
If we let it to our family
Sometimes
and
we
spouse,
allow.
Sometimes
But don't always try
Time, place and circumstance.
One thing, Prabhu.
Sometimes you just go, just,
Make it a habit of
The thing is, Krishna really doesn't like to see you crying. He is ready to take care of you. You tell me, when your child is coming before you, he's crying, give me. What do you want? Tell me. No, listen. That means you don't want to see your child crying. This same baby comes, he very happily says, Mommy, I want this. Okay, take it. Right? You feel more happy. Why you have to cry? I am ready to give you.
Yeah.
And you take a toy. You say, okay, I'll go and give you a toy. So similarly, he says, no, don't cry. Okay, what do you want? Just tell me. So you can go. He's your father.
Prabhuji, but when you have a crying child and happy child, if you have two child or many child, when you are crying, you get the attention. When you are happy, then you okay. You okay, he's okay. We not give you attention.
He is personally attending to every child. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. He is not like you, Father. Simultaneously, you cannot be with every child, but he is simultaneously with every child. Personally, he is there.
Even he is happy. That's good.
One thing, Prabhu, I just have a question. Like if you say that following like any therapy, like you're a devotee, in order to like make his suffering low, does anything is pronounced like if you do this, you do say fasting, if you do some lemon therapy or no, I'm just saying, are such things really successful?
You see, sometimes as long as you are in this material body, you are in the material world, you have to go to doctor. You have to sometimes they practice, recommend some kind of asanas and these things also you do, but that should not be taking the prime position. Prime time should be spent in practicing your sadhana. That should be secondary. So Mother, currently I am going through bodily inconveniences. I have to take some medicines. Don't be mental, oh now I am chanting, everything will be alright. Wow, if you are in that stage of consciousness, maybe Krishna will take care, but I do not know. Many of us are not in that level. We need to understand. We also need to go to doctor. Need to also follow some therapy. And at the same time, you should be always conscious about your Krishna consciousness. Huh?
Very beautiful. So
It relates to
much of
everyone.
meaning and so deep is the answer. It's very beautiful.
Yeah. We need to learn how to adjust the life here. Actually, we are supposed to use everything in Krishna's service. Means we are supposed to see Krishna through everything. That we need to learn.
Does a devotee becomes angry? Oh Krishna, why are you not helping me if I am doing such good acts? So it's just like a dialogue between the devotee and Krishna. So
The answer is yes and no.
pardon?
Yes and no is the answer.
No, like you, not you, a devotee has.
That's what I am saying. Answer is yes and no. You are saying you are devotee. I am saying answer is yes and no.
Okay. So yes, I agree. But what is the answer for no?
How do you know? Yes, you agree. When somebody is in that kind of relationship with Krishna, he can quarrel with Krishna, he can fight with Krishna. Okay? Krishna is saying that, no, I am the son of Nanda Maharaj, I am king's son, I am not going to take a ride. Why you have to kind of, sorry, you don't, I will not allow you to ride on my shoulder. When Krishna is playing with his friends, there is a kind of, vow that if any party is defeated, then what will happen? The winner party will be carried on the shoulder. Now, Krishna have been seeing that for the whole day they are winning. And Sridhama have been suffering. And he is thinking, what? They will not be able to win even once? Krishna, by seeing Sridhama's depression, he said, okay, last time. Krishna willfully gets defeated. And after he is defeated, then he is playing another trick. No, now it is late, we should go back home. I am son of Nanda Maharaj, I cannot carry you. Sridham says, what? For the whole day I have been carrying you. Now it is your turn, you want to excuse because you are son of Nanda Maharaj? I am not going to let you go. No, Baba, छोड़ दीजिए मुझको. नहीं छोड़ोगे. तुमको carry करना ही पड़ेगा. You should carry us. And there is a kind of going on that kind of discussion. Yes, in this situation, yes, Krishna is enjoying that. Okay? If you are in not that situation, you cannot claim to fight with Krishna. That fighting should not be imitated. You should be qualified for that.
Very good. Very good. Super.
Nice.
Krishna is a person.
That's true.
Prabhuji, how do you like chant or do seva without having any desire? Like Krishna, I want to pass my exam, so I will do 2 extra rounds today. Or Krishna.
Yeah, you can do that. For you it is allowed. If you want to go to Krishna, I want to pass my test, if I am chanting, please allow me. Okay, we are allowing you. Not you, not you. Because Krishna says, akama sarva kama va moksha kama udaradi. That's why we are authorizing you on this, on the strength of this verse, only and only you. But that also has some limit. After some time, you are also not allowed. Okay, this time you are allowed. You can go to him and pray to him.
Super.
Because if Krishna then gives, then you are, after that, why we are allowing you, you can ask this question. Why you are not allowing them, why you are allowing me? Because we want you to gain something from Krishna, so that your faith is stronger, and then after that you become a better devotee. Not that after he fulfills your desire, then you go away from Krishna. No, that you cannot do.
And what if you don't get it? Then
No, Krishna will give you if you are sincere. If you are not getting means there is something lacking on your part. You should know this.
There must be a better plan, right?
Yeah, like you
There must
see,
be a
you
better
cannot
plan.
say if this is something like a cultivation. If you are growing some grains or vegetables in the garden, if you are not getting the grain as you supposed to get, what does it mean?
No sunlight.
You have not worked hard enough. Correct. There is something missing there. Therefore, you should not just blame, oh, why God didn't give me. No. Karmanye vadhikarate ma phal kodachana. Krishna is saying,
As you will.
ma manusmara judhyacha. You remember him, pray to him, at the same time you do your duty. That is the injunction. Yes.
Is it asking something from Krishna is a bad bargain?
No, Krishna says, Bhagavatam says, no kama sarva kama va moksha kama udaradhiti brena bhakti.
I mean, so
Sometimes it is allowed, acharyas are saying that instead of going to the other demigods and other, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, if he is going to the other demigods, demigod may fulfill their desire. And then what will happen? Because of their, they being in the midst of this material opulence, then they may get degraded. While they are being degraded, demigod will not come to rescue them. But if you are a devotee of Lord Krishna and if you have gone to him and he has given you, even if there is some problem, at that time it is his duty to rescue you. Therefore we should go to him.
my question was like, let's say Krishna want to give me $1 million, right? But I'll go and say, I need only 100,000. That's my desire. Okay, I think. So you say, okay, let's go take the 100,000, but then he will not give me $1 million. So his plan. So that's what my question.
Okay. You see, that's the
We are putting the limits, right?
yes, that's a bad bargain, definitely for sure. But what to do? Sometimes some people are in that situation. That is what we are saying, that don't go, don't cry. But if you are kind of, okay, go, Krishna will some other, see, he can do anything. Like we were saying that. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, আমি বিজ্ঞ এই মূর্খে বিষয় কেনে দেব সোচরণামৃত দিয়া বিষয় ভুলাইব. You are saying bad, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful. He is saying even if you go and cry for this Vishaya, he is not going to give you. In Bhagavatam says, okay, even if you have a kama, sarva kama, okay, till start serving, okay, go to him. So this is why you should understand this Krishna conscious philosophy is for everybody. You should know how you want to understand it and you elevate yourself from where you are. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, I will not give him Vishaya. Rather I will give my Charanamrita and I will make him forget Vishaya. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore you want you all to take shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because you know philosophy, that's why you are trying to catch me. I know you. Okay, Baba, ho gaya.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
In the Middle East we have to have such kind of fun, such kind of programs everywhere. So Kannada is becoming like that, it's reminding me about my Middle East programs.
Haribol. Have Mangalarti here itself.
Yeah. Today now I am going to go and stay in somebody's house. He have been waiting for me since 8:30. This gentleman, 10, right? I don't know what he is doing. Whatever you say, it makes sense to you or not?
Haribol, Prabhu, yes.
No?
I had a question.
Yeah. Hey, she is here now.
She said she'll get over by 10. I said, come at 10.
Oh, okay.
I had to do seva, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
No.
Thank you, Kamala Mataji, for coming. Thanks for coming.
Kamla Mataji, Jagannath was waiting. Thank you for coming. Jai Gurudev. Sorry, Prabhuji. I tried to make it, but I couldn't. They had so many garlands to make and for the...
Yeah, of course.
So I thought, let me finish it.
Yeah.
I rarely get a chance.
No, please.
So we finished. I thought, let me make it, but
Yeah. No.
fallen souls like us, how can we make it on time?
Don't speak like this.
Very nice, beautiful ladies.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice to see you.
So, actually, I am going to this Prabhu's house today.
Yeah.
We'll talk to him.
Okay.
My son is doing Bala Bhagavatam with Ropi Priya Mataji. Very nice.
Nice, huh?
Very nice. Thank you so much.
See, you should then tell them.
I also want to do Bal Bhagavatam Prabhuji. I am doing kids classes on Zoom and all
Then you start, Mataji. Here? You want to be here?
Yeah, I am doing in Charlotte. We were in Charlotte. There are like 4 or 5 Matajis are doing kids classes.
Okay.
We are just following like 108 Bhagavad, but it's good to follow.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, Hare Krishna.
You didn't taste rice at all.
Prabhuji,
You also did not taste.
ये पपाया इतना मीठा मैंने सुबह
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
दे दो पूरा दे दो
माता जी हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरि बोल।
हरी बोल थैंक
प्रभु जी हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्णा। पवित्र मदर हरे कृष्णा। हरे कृष्ण माता जी। हरे कृष्ण माता जी। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण।
My mom's waiting for the camera.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी। बोल बोल हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
Maybe Bollywood singing, but you see those kids, the way they ragas and each and every the things they do.
Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा।
Hari Bol Prabhu.
Okay, video talk. Hari bol. Hari bol. हरे कृष्णा। ये श्रील प्रभुपाद।
Come, come.
Come down. Mataji's all come this way.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say something. ये जगन्नाथ। ये बलदेव। Let's go. Let's start already.
Sati Prabhu up there.
Hari Bol.
जय प्रभुपाद। जय प्रभुपाद। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Ammu up here.
Prabhu.
Now you come. Now y'all both come. Both of you come.
Somebody else can take it.
Yeah, I'll let you take.
I'll take. I want to.
You'll take?
Yeah, I'm good at taking.
You'll get everybody's head?
I'm good at taking.
Taking a picture? Okay.